Welcome back to Yanami. In this Boruto video we discuss the fate of both Naruto and Sasuke. Everything is not as it seems. Just like Jiraiya suffered during the Naruto time skip, we can expect the same for Sasuke, but at least 10 times more extreme due to the obvious different situation. We can expect not only a somewhat crippled Sasuke, more than he already was, but also the fact that Sasuke has now become stronger than Naruto for the first time in a long while. I will even argue that he might be stronger than Prime Naruto ever was. But it's also possible that Naruto found a way to surpass his own Prime even in the dimension without time. I will explain everything now. The exact condition under which Momoshiki can take over Boruto's body is still somewhat unknown. Some people believe it's unconditional, and that Momoshiki can essentially take over Boruto at any time, even against Boruto's will. I don't think that's the case. I do believe it has something to do with what happens to Boruto during combat situations or similar events. For example, the first time Momoshiki took over was during the Boro fight, where Boruto was pretty beaten up. The second time was during the fight with Ishiki when he broke his arm. The third time was when fighting Code. It wasn't really due to something that happened because of the fight, but Boruto did feel pain in his chest. This pain was essentially the gateway for Momoshiki to take over. So maybe it's really the physical pain that allows Momoshiki to bypass the limitations of the karma and take control. This also fits with the fourth and final time so far when Kawaki sliced Boruto's eye. Momoshiki didn't waste the opportunity and used it to help Kawaki escape, knowing that the fate he saw for Boruto will now come true with the help of Kawaki. So in conclusion, it seems that Momoshiki only takes over when Boruto experiences physical pain. This doesn't mean that physical pain is literally the reason why Momoshiki can take over, but at the very least it suggests that Momoshiki feels comfortable doing so when Boruto is in pain. Maybe it's because Boruto is distracted during these moments, allowing Momoshiki to take control without Boruto noticing how he does it, or what the true condition is. Perhaps Momoshiki also tries to make Boruto believe that it's only possible if he's in pain. That way Momoshiki would be able to make Boruto believe that he can do anything he wants without Momoshiki harming him or the ones he loves, as long as he's not getting hurt. This could become very problematic if Momoshiki has plans for the future. Who knows, maybe Momoshiki can even take over while Boruto is sleeping. There are many reasons why it could be strategic for Momoshiki to keep his control as low-key as possible so that Boruto would be more relaxed about the things he believes he can do without Momoshiki taking over. For someone like Momoshiki, who will live forever as long as his vessel, who is now more or less immortal, lives on, he has all the time in the world, absolutely no rush, and most importantly, he has only one single vessel, nothing more. Momoshiki has often and clearly emphasized how important Boruto really is to him, so he won't take any unnecessary steps. And who knows, maybe that's even how Code Scar came to be. But if you want to know more about that, feel free to watch this video here. I will link it in the comments, the true secret of the Scar. If, however, the ability to take over is really limited to when physical pain occurs, then maybe it has more to do with the mind than the body, such as moments when the mind goes blank for a moment. This could also align with Momoshiki's intention to cause so much emotional pain to Boruto that he might simply lose what keeps Momoshiki imprisoned, his love and will to live. If there's no one to protect, if there's no one to love, then what force inside Boruto can keep Momoshiki imprisoned? Nothing. But this of course will make things like sleep also very dangerous as well as simple training. It should be clear that intense training like the ones that occur during time skips in Naruto are usually very exhausting and tend to result in physical injuries. You can't train in combat without hurting yourself from time to time. If you want to grow as fast as possible, you must recreate the danger your opponents represent as closely as possible so you are prepared for the real deal once the time has come. And knowing everything that has happened, they know they should prepare not only for Kawaki but also for all the other Otsutskis who are on their way to Earth right now. For Sasuke, who is now most likely weaker than Boruto anyway, going all out in combat training is necessary. To put it simply, if Sasuke can physically injure Boruto, he most likely will even if it's not intended, otherwise he can't be a useful opponent. In a way you can say Sasuke is training both himself and Boruto. If Sasuke is way too weak to even injure Boruto, then obviously Momoshiki would never come out. However, if that's not the case, then Sasuke would still have no other choice but to to give it his all so that Boruto can become stronger. And if sometimes Boruto slips or for whatever other reason he gets injured, then Momoshiki can come out, and most likely will use this opportunity to cause as much damage as possible. And now comes the most important part. If Momoshiki truly tries to take everything Boruto has because he wants to cause as much emotional damage as possible, to hopefully take over forever, he will certainly have an interest in taking the last thing Boruto currently has, that is, his sensei Sasuke. So in conclusion, the only known way so far that Momoshiki could take over Boruto's body during the 3-year time skip was always when Sasuke was together with Boruto. He was probably there every time anyway. But most importantly, this would mean that Momoshiki would find it easy to simply attack Sasuke every single time, just as he already did before. Why would he stop now? He has no interest in keeping Sasuke alive unless he somehow plans to use him, or Sasuke is naturally doing something that Momoshiki can benefit from. This could be training Boruto, for example, if that might make Momoshiki stronger once he can take over Boruto. We have seen how Momoshiki can use techniques that Boruto's body remembers, so learning ninjutsu by doing nothing isn't a bad thing, but even then, there's no reason why he wouldn't try to chop off another leg or cause any kind of damage, as long as Sasuke can provide whatever it is that might interest Momoshiki in keeping him alive. I expect at least one major injury in the form of a scar that will symbolize what Sasuke went through during the time skip when he basically had to babysit Momoshiki. But it could be much worse. As mentioned, they are training for people who aim to end their lives, so there's no time to relax. Even pure exhaustion could cause the condition for Momoshiki to come out. In the worst case, it's possible that Momoshiki had the chance to take control every single day. So whenever that happened, Sasuke was the one who had to deal with it, and we all know the power difference between Sasuke and Momoshiki. It's ridiculous. This idea would beautifully reflect the original Naruto time skip in which Jiraiya ended up with a pretty huge scar because of the nine-tailed transformation. It's literally the same principle, but in Boruto's case, Momoshiki has it much easier to take control. He's much stronger and harder to deal with than nine-tailed Naruto. Momoshiki is also way more intelligent in this state. He intentionally tries to cripple Sasuke, whereas you might not even get hit by Rage Mode Naruto unless you really anger him or take the attention on yourself. Many could handle Naruto in that state, but no one other than Kawaki could deal with Momoshiki, especially on a regular basis, so the time skip must have changed Sasuke severely, not only physically but also mentally. However, this isn't just a negative thing. Primarily, it means that Sasuke is now extremely strong. I would even go so far as to say that Sasuke has now officially surpassed Naruto, possibly even Naruto in his prime. I know it may seem impossible, but we should not forget who Sasuke is. Like Naruto, he's one of the reincarnations of Indra and Asura, the chosen ones, so to speak. They aren't the strongest because of the powers they lost, but because of who they are. Take the powers away and they will focus on things they have never focused on before. Just think of the countless shinobis who don't have the powers that made Naruto and Sasuke the strongest. Much is possible, especially for someone who inherited the soul of someone so close to the original Otsutsuki bloodline. And Sasuke is generally very talented and hardworking. What I'm saying is that Sasuke didn't just train Boruto every day for 3 years straight, under the most extreme conditions. It was more like Boruto was training Sasuke at some point. Maybe not in terms of wisdom and experience, but in terms of physical power. Also, the mental state and pressure from the training must have helped them reach a certain level of power. Clearly, Sasuke and Naruto didn't train the same way they did when they were younger. When you're already the strongest, it's hard to become stronger, because you represent the limit. It's easier to see where you have to be to defeat your opponent. You naturally become stronger faster. So in my opinion, it's literally impossible for Sasuke not to be the strongest human alive, and possibly ever lived, much stronger than Naruto ever was. But, and it's a big but, the reason Naruto is imprisoned in a place where time doesn't move is that it's also making him stronger in a way. He might not be able to train physically, but we know that much of Naruto's training has always been mental. So he already has the foundational knowledge to become stronger just by using his mind. If his current state allows him to think, then he will certainly use this to his advantage and open doors he maybe never knew existed or never opened before. I've always said that there must be a reason why Naruto didn't die and why he didn't age. This hints that he will return at some point and play a major role in the final war or fight. And that implies he must have gotten stronger even even if it doesn't look that way. So something about Naruto's situation must allow him to train to be strong enough to compete with the final villains and also to rival Sasuke. There's no way Sasuke can become so powerful when Naruto ends up being much weaker, unprepared, and without any sense of training. This will completely ruin the dynamic between Naruto and Sasuke that is still present in the Boruto series. Under no circumstances can one become way stronger than the other. I don't think the fandom will like that, and it's definitely not what Naruto deserves. So the idea is that Naruto will wake up stronger than ever before, making him at least as powerful as Sasuke has become solely by training Boruto and dealing with Momoshiki on a regular basis. So what do you think of this Boruto video? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more Boruto videos, then subscribe to this channel with the notification bell activated. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!